Ladies and gentlemen, will you please rise and remove your hats for the presentation of the colors by the Fargo Public Schools Air Force Junior ROTC under the direction of Chief Master Sergeant James Gibson. The color guard team is commanded by Cadet Mackenzie Moylanen, accompanied by Cadet Jocelyn Birch, Cadet Anna Landman, and Cadet Tian Nguyen. The national anthem will be sung by Fargo South's concert choir under the direction of Mrs. Sarah Lickblau. Please remain standing and hold your applause until the colors have been retired.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watch, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ladies and gentlemen, and class of 2025, you may be seated. Welcome, class of 2025 graduates and guests. My name is Amelia Hawley, your MC for the afternoon and your fellow graduate. Like all of you, I've spent my last 4 years at Fargo South trying to figure out who I'm supposed to be and what I'm supposed to do with my life. It is a question we've all been asked, and not until recently have many of us taken it seriously. What are your plans after graduation? What college are you going to? What's your major? I firmly believe that Fargo South has given us all many opportunities to answer these questions with confidence. Fargo South High School is not like other high schools. We may have had a different high school experience than the other students graduating today, but I believe it has served us better for our future. Coming from Fargo South, we have been gifted with opportunities to understand diversity, inclusion, and respect. I have learned how lucky I am, and with that understanding, I see that not all people have an easy path. Many of my fellow students found comfort and safety at school over anywhere else. That just goes to show the community and belonging that Fargo South cultivates. In the last 9 months, it has all become so real. The last time on the field, court, or stage, all of the lasts is where the nostalgia hits and that one question floods our brain. Who are we without this title or activity to define us? You may be an athlete, a musician, an academic, but that is not the word to describe you. You are more than that. It has been easy to attach your identity to your hobby for the last 4 years because it was comfortable, short and sweet. But don't lose yourself in your accolades because titles are temporary, but your character is forever. The person you choose to be when no one is watching is what you will carry with you after you accept that diploma today. So take pride in who you are and where you come from. Being a Bruin means taking care of one another and striving for excellence. Our class has made a positive impact on Fargo South's past. We have positioned it in its presence, and we will continue to influence its future. We have proven so many stereotypes wrong and provided new ways for others to look at Fargo South and its graduates. I'm so beyond honored to walk this stage alongside all of you. This is our opportunity to take what we have learned and continue to do great things. Thank you, Fargo South and class of 2025. Once a Bruin, always a Bruin. Go Bruins. Thank you. I will now introduce to you our first commencement speaker, Greta Rahm. She has been involved in the drama club, speech and debate, PAY, Bruin ambassadors, all while being a National Honor Society member and a National Merit Scholar finalist. Some of you may know her as the shining star on the stage, or maybe the smartest girl in your classroom. The one thing you will notice about her in all of those environments is that she commands them all with grace and knowledge. She will be taking her talents to Arizona State University studying biological sciences at the Barrett Honors College next fall. Please help me welcome Greta Rahm.
Good afternoon, friends, family, teachers and administration, and most importantly, class of 2025 graduates. It is an honor to stand here before you today. Looking out at all of you, I see faces I've known for what feels like forever, faces I've only recently gotten to know, and some faces whose stories I've never heard. But there is one thing I can confidently say about each and every one of you. You are a Bruin. We all are. It's what connects us. Our spirit and our strength makes us an incredible community. And without it, I can confidently say that these past 4 years wouldn't have been filled with nearly as much joy. And these past 4 years really have been a wild ride. We came into high school as scared little freshmen, still wearing masks and drowning everything in hand sanitizer. But we've grown up. And while I can't say that we're not all scared for what comes next, I know I am, I know that we're ready. Whether it be more schooling at a 2 or 4 year university, the military, an apprenticeship, the workforce, or a gap year to figure things out, these past 4 years have prepared us for this moment, with each year giving us a new skill or tool to help prepare us for the future. Freshman year taught us how to handle times of uncertainty and times of change. We were thrust into a brand new environment, a new school with new teachers, new classes, and a 1 minute longer passing period. We faced getting lost in the halls and missing an entire week of school because of a positive COVID test. But we also learned the value of strong friendships and trusted adults. These people helped us get through one day, and then another, and then another. They introduced us to clubs and activities, gave us grace when this new workload proved to be a bit overwhelming, and helped us find our place in high school. Sophomore year taught us patience. We were no longer the babies of high school, but we weren't mature and scary like the upperclassmen either. We were in this weird transition period where we understood the expectations and how high school worked, yet we were still seen as kids who needed guidance because we were. We were just starting to get our licenses and had fun money from our brand new jobs, which we were finally old enough to have. So while we felt all grown up, we had to accept that there was a lot left to learn, not only in school, but also in who we were as people. We were able to use that time of waiting to explore our hobbies and interests, adding to and evolving our identities. Junior year taught us responsibility. Now, members of the upperclassmen, we were expected to be a good representation of South High to both the community and the underclassmen. Not showing up to class on time or not showing up to class at all was out of the question. And the stakes were much higher. A detention was no longer just a detention, it barred us from prom. And all of a sudden, we were getting hundreds of emails from colleges saying they wanted us. And it took a day or two to realize we weren't special and that those emails were being sent to upperclassmen all across the country, but it felt like a big deal at the time. And even if those emails were being sent to thousands of students, it was still a big deal. We were suddenly being considered for something more, regardless if that was or is our intended path. We were finally becoming adults, what we had been reaching towards this whole time. Yet this year, senior year, has taught us to live in the present instead of always reaching towards the future. Yes, the future offers countless possibilities, but only looking ahead means you miss what's right beside you. I know it's a cliche, but these past 4 years really have passed in the blink of an eye. Even this year alone, friendships were formed, broken, and mended. Future plans changed a million times, and there was so much to do, but no motivation to do it. Yet, as we gather here today, it's all over. Whether your high school experience was amazing or isolating, there are no more first periods to be late to, no more lunches that are way too short, and no more tests that you've forgotten about. After today, we are all starting on different paths, and there are many people in this room that you may never cross paths with again. But there is one thing that is similar about each and every one of these paths. They are new. Each path will have different rules that need to be learned and new connections that need to be made. We're all starting something new, together, yet separate, just like we were when we were freshmen. And just like when we were freshmen, we're probably all a little scared. But being scared is a good thing. It means you care about what you're doing next. So if you do feel lost or scared or unsure if the next is the right step, remember how you felt freshman year and how you feel now. You found a home at South High, and 4 years from now, you'll have found a home elsewhere. Freshman year 2021. It feels like forever ago, but it's only been 4 years. 4 years is a long time, but it can also pass in the blink of an eye with so many accomplishments and seemingly momentous occasions being forgotten. But as you reflect over the past 4 years, you'll realize how much you've grown and changed, and how much society has changed with you. Since our freshman year, 4 years ago, NASA has landed a rover on Mars that can convert carbon dioxide into oxygen. We finally launched the James Webb Space Telescope after 20 years of work. Scientists at Yale revived the organs of a dead pig, opening countless doors in medicine. AI has been used to help detect and prevent wildfires. The EU has banned the use of single-use plastics by 2030, and Taylor Swift has released 6 albums. All that and so much more happened in only 4 years. So if all that can happen in only 4 years, I can't wait to see what all of you will do with the next 4. Thank you and congratulations.
Our second commencement speaker is Lucas Robinson. He has been involved in our music department, speech and debate, and wrestling these last 4 years. Not only is he very involved, he also excels in his academics as a national merit finalist. Outside of Fargo South, he's a very Minnesota in the Twin Cities to study political science. Please help me welcome Lucas Robinson.
Good afternoon, friends, family, teachers and administrators, and of course, class of 2025. I'm Lucas Robinson, and I'm honored to be able to share with you how much the last 4 years at Fargo South High School have meant for me. Our lives are shaped by pieces of paper. Our story starts with a piece of paper, our birth certificate. passports, driver's licenses, or even marriage certificates might continue that story. And in a few minutes, all of us will continue our story with another piece of paper, our high school diplomas. But unlike past pieces of paper, this one's important not because it represents who you are, but because it represents what you've done. Now, it's not that this diploma is more important than your birth certificate, your social security card, or even that Employee of the Month certificate. This diploma is important because it represents hundreds of days, thousands of hours spent in one place, Fargo South High School. And we've worked hard for it. Our diplomas tell the story of our high school years, stories of success and sometimes even failure. Tests we failed, quizzes we flunked, or even classes we had to retake. But more importantly, our diploma shows us that we were able to overcome these failures and struggles. It says that we were able to overcome and succeed in the face of all of this adversity. Early mornings, late nights, trying to wrap our heads around difficult concepts. We've struggled through tests, packets, and awkward presentations, but through it all, our presence here today means that we succeeded. The paper we are all about to receive represents our accomplishments and ultimately our successes. But I think we often make the mistake of thinking of this graduation as being the biggest moment of our high school careers. From the moment we stepped into South High School, when we were given bright yellow shirts with the words Class of 2025 printed on the front, we've been working towards this one goal, this one piece of paper. But now that we sit or stand in front of this stage, something sticks out to me. Making everything we've gone through up to this point about today misses all the other todays that have gone by. There was a time when today meant walking into the South doors as freshmen. We were excited, maybe a little bit scared. 4 years stretched out in front of us, and our graduation day seemed so far away. Those 4 years seemed like a lifetime. It seemed just as far away sophomore year, standing on the bleachers, watching a football game, where the winner of this game seemed like the most important thing of the world. And we weren't thinking about graduation then, but it was always in the back of our minds. The reason we were even at the football game in the first place, the point of our high school years. The reality hit many of us in our junior year, when we met with our counselors and first started thinking about what came next, asking ourselves what we were going to do after this. It still seemed impossibly far away. Even though we were more than halfway done, our graduation day seemed distant. But the time moved quickly. Earlier this year, today meant sitting in the parking lot on the morning of the first last day of school, eating breakfast together as a senior class. And even then, this today seemed far away. We couldn't be graduating, not yet. High school was a given to us. Every morning, we woke up, brushed our teeth, hopefully, rubbed the sleep out of our eyes. We walked the same halls, we went to the same classes, and we heard the same tone of the bell. But that chapter of our lives is now behind us. Graduation isn't just something that happens to the class of 2023 or 2024. Ready or not, it's happening to us, and we have to be ready, no matter how unbelievable it may seem. But we are. This is it. 4 years condensed into a single piece of paper, and it's more than an achievement. It's all the todays that are now in our past, all the experiences and accomplishments that brought us to where we are today. So when you cross that stage, shake Mrs. Brandt's hand and graduate high school, my hope for you is that when you look at that piece of paper you're about to receive, you see more than a diploma. I hope you see the early mornings, the late nights, the quiet struggles, and the small victories along the way. I hope you see this diploma not just as another piece of paper, but as something you've worked hard for, made sacrifices for, and earned. Be proud of this diploma, but don't forget what it represents. Celebrate your past achievements and go boldly into tomorrow.
I will now introduce to you our principal, Mrs. Brandt. This year was her first year at Fargo South, and her first few days maybe didn't go as planned, but she got us all through it with civility and composure. Please help me welcome Mrs. Christy Brandt.
Good afternoon, class of 2025. You did it. You did it. You really did it. You've made it to this moment dressed in your caps and gowns and buzzing with pride and maybe a little disbelief. But today we gather not just to celebrate your achievements, but to also honor the journey that got you here. One filled with late night studying, pep rallies, awkward group projects, proficiency day attendance, and all small moments that made high school uniquely yours. Now let's talk about what today is, commencement. It seems like a fancy word. It sounds like an ending, right? But it actually means beginning. Today doesn't mark the finish line. It actually marks your launch, your leap, your next big thing. Commencement is the opening number to the rest of your story. And let me tell you, all of those present here today believe it's going to be a good one for each and every one of you, because you are now in the driver's seat. But before you go charting your roadmap, I hope you remember the themes that each of the messages had presented today. The significance of your experiences at Fargo South High School, and the feeling of a sense of belonging that is cultivated here that each speaker highlighted. Greta and Amelia's reflections of the memories and pride of being a Bruin and how those have bonded you. And finally, acknowledging the growth that has happened the past 4 years, as Lucas described. I hope you heard their messages that being a Bruin isn't just about the colors that you wear in the halls. It's about pride. Pride in your respect and acceptance of others, your growth, and the way you looked out for one another. It's about knowing that no matter where you go next, this place and the people here help shape you, and you help shape it and them. These speakers today captured the essence that you have been bonded through shared experiences, cheering at events, enjoying concerts and plays, supporting each other in the darkest of days, studying for assessments, and surviving North Dakota winters, and figuring out how to find joy in the middle of all of that. You've laughed together, you've faced challenges together, and you showed what it really truly means to belong. Belonging doesn't mean being the same. It means being seen and being valued and knowing there's a place for you just as you are. And you here have belonged. Each of you has been a thread of the fabric of South, and to get something strong and something unforgettable. Wherever your journey takes you, adventures unknown, think of this place and remember that the bond that has been created, the memories these years have provided, the foundation that you've built, and that the fact that you will always be part of the Bruin family. So to the class of 2025, as Lucas eloquently said, walk boldly into tomorrow. This is your commencement to new journeys, but never forget, as Amelia proclaimed, once a Bruin, always a Bruin. And remember, you are never alone. You have forever a bond to Fargo South High School and the class of 2025. And you forever have class. Congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, I am honored to present the individuals of the Fargo South High School class of 2025. These individuals have met the standards and requirements as set forth by the state of North Dakota, the Department of Public Instruction, and the Fargo Public School Board of Education. At this time, I would ask that those assisting with the delivery of diplomas to please take their positions. Each individual name of our graduates will be read, and I would ask that you hold any long, extended applauses until all the graduates have received their diplomas. After the ceremony, families will be able to meet up with the graduates on the west side of the Fargo Dome. The graduates will come upstairs to meet with family and friends and other members. Graduates, prepare to proceed to the stage to receive your signed diploma, signifying your commencement into the next steps of your journey. Will the first row of graduates please rise?
Good afternoon. My name is Dennis Miller, school counselor at Fargo South, and I'll be reading the names today. Fargo South is a school rich with diversity, unity, and strength. Each graduate crossing the stage is a reminder of what is possible when we lift each other up. Their future starts now. Let's meet your 2025 graduates. Reese, Ruby, Arstead. Osmo, Abdu, Raheen. Ryan, Michael, Adams. Yusuf, Becker, Murad, Ali, Ahmed. Ainula, Amiri. Solomon, Degum, Anderson. Joseph, Malone, Antonopoulos. Aaron, Baugh. Christine Nicole Bent. Christopher Joel Biorgi. Gwen Nancy Brotherson. Sutton Dennis Bruggeman. Matthew Don Bryant. Ishnala Lecoilier Bullhead. Jack Robert Cano. Cody Lee Conco. Chloe K. Courier. Mark James Dahlman. Micah Todd Debates. Brittany DeMall. Keaton Justin Knutson Docken. Esme Dolentz. Ethan James Dahl. Jackson Ain Eastland. Laura Cynthia Ray Eback. Dylan Arthur Ellenson. Lily Georgine Engen. Colin Joseph Urbantrout. Brody Michael Dean Erickson. Hayden Erickson. Lucas David Erickson. Madison Paige Espeseth. Elliot Atticus Fangsrud. Yasmin Liban Farah. Caitlin Sophia Farman. Kiyumars Faramond. Jaden Christine Felber. Owen John Flemmer. Danielle Frazee. Ashley Renee B. Fuller. Cashton Clay Gores. Ava Lillian Grace Grams. Boston Dean Graves. Easton Ezra Gugisberg. Jordan Surrey Gustafson. Bowden Keith Hager. Jada Rose Hansen. Karma Hansen. Faith Evelyn Hansen Bittner. Heather Rosabelle Haskin. Rashida Teresa Candy Hassan. Brody Sailor Hatlin. Amelia Christine Holly. Seth James Hine. Gemma Faith Henkelman. Cody Lee Heron. Lydia Joe Hestallin. Kasia Aubrey Holloway. Nostjane Melody Holmes. Kirsten Eileen Hoppy. Noah Matthew Haas. Jaden Hovland. Ren James. Jonas Gary Jensrud. Gracie Addison Jevney. Madison Johnson. Sincere Gift Johnson. Alyssa Rose Jondal. Regan Jackson Jorgensen. Kaylee Joe Kaufman. Alexandra Marie Keller. Jada Sue Kennedy. Hawa Seno Carrie Zareth. Charlie Kessler. Masa Rashida King. Elena Ray Klockner. Abraham Quimini. Audrey Rose Komrosky. Tyler Jacob Komrosky. Lillian Grace Kramer. Steph Kramer. Queen Chroma. Lucas Oliver Lamb. Jaden Thomas Langston. Eve Morris Lawia. Magdalena Mary Lennox. Rafael Ledesma Riviera. Timothy James Lentz. Halia Trimmery Nicole Levesque. Daniel Gerald Lean. Wade William Little Owl Jr. Mark Hercel Aureliano Mahihi. Elizabeth Rebecca Molly. Patrick Daniel Molly. Angel Maldonado. Evan Carter Maloney. Ava Violet Martin. Jesse Joe Mendoza. Garrett Matthew Meyer. Dustin James Mikey. Nixon Lanina Mickish. Hannah Miller. Jael Bruni Million. Jackson Damon Moen. Carson James Moylanen. Xander David Moody. Avery Rose Moran. Emmanuel Dara Murr. Xander Azriel Constantine Navolta. Tristan Eugene Neal. Kalissa Sage Nelson. Shay Stewart Nelson. Evan James Nichols. Lena K. Nielsen. London Siri Newmiller. Cameron Stephen Nylander. Mia Marlene Nylander. Briar Rose Olson. Griffin Willis Olson. Samantha Olson. Emma Grace Osborne. Angel Cortez Ostis. Elias Daniel Palacios Lopez. Anastasia Jocelyn Perez. Aiden William Richard Peshin. Preston Weldon Pikarski. Benjamin Jacob Pinks. Ryder William Plummer. Shina Maya Podell. Megan Anna Prizanzano. Ciara Grace Puderbaugh. Colton Don Rao. Greta Cyrilla Rom. Tess Elizabeth Ruth Reisenauer. Gabriel Evan Richards. Lucas Daniel Robinson. Ella Lee Rail. Michael Aaron Rustabaki. Alana Camille Sampson. Adeline Marie Clark Shones. Louis Davis Sexton. Aliyu Jeddo Abdul Kareem Shahid. Lucas John Sherva. Lainey Lee Silseth. Madison Alexandra Smith. Maya Luis Sular. Xander James Sowers. Layla Spirit Track. Avery James Steidel. Emily Ann Stramenger. Michael Suda. Caitlin Rose Swigert. Tyler Dylan Silsker. Jacob Thomas Seister. Lucas Andrew Seister. Ella Catherine Tesh. Evan William Thomas. Ashlyn Grace Thorsness. Noah Rurik Todd. Maya Jeanette Town. Dat Tan Tran. Tirth Tool. Ashton Michael Tweeton. Katie Bowe. Sifa Wanaye. Leontre Allen Ward. Miley Ella Ward. Brevin Michael Wark. Travis John Wensloff Jr. Leland Greer Whitehurst III. Mara Jewel Whiting. Sophia Christine Wilhelmy. Gabriel Quia Williams. Sean Trouble Yarmeadow. Nishimwe Yvette. R2 Zodua.
Class of 2025, it is such an honor to be one of the first to tell you all congratulations. Would the audience please join me in celebrating the class of 2025 with a round of applause? We will now hear benediction performed by Fargo South's concert choir under the direction of Mrs. Sarah Lickblau.
Shine warm
Our closing speaker today is Benjamin Pinks. Ben is a very well-rounded and has dipped his toe in many different pools here at South, starting with the Theater and Drama Club, where he leads and directs, but also participating in PAY, Key Club, cross country, and track and field. He plans to attend Savannah College of Art and Design for film and television. Ben, take it away.
Hello, class of 2025. My name is Ben Pinks, and I've been tasked with closing this ceremony today. I know all of you are antsy to get out of here, so I'll try and keep it short and sweet, just under an hour. Now, I haven't given many speeches in my life. I don't tend to use big, fancy words, and in all honesty, I'm a very quiet and reserved person in my day-to-day. If I'm being fully honest with you guys, I have no idea why they asked me to speak up here today. I like to think it's because they see me as a good example of what a Bruin should be, but it's probably just to have another pretty face up here. But alas, I'll try my best. When I came to Fargo South as a freshman, I was terrified. I was scared for what was coming next. In pop culture and movies and TV, high school is seen as this scary place. It's filled with different cliques and friend groups that do not mix. It's a prison for us all to stay in until we're old enough to go somewhere else. But above all that, it's the end-all, be-all of our future. My mindset going into high school was that I had to have it all figured out now so I could have it all figured out later. I was scared about what classes I was going to take, what clubs and activities to put my time into, and who to hang around, all in hopes that it would aid my future. I spent so much time worrying if I was making the right choices that for the first year of high school, I didn't choose at all. I took the very basic classes that I had to, joined no new clubs or extracurriculars, and hung around all the same people I had been for the past few years. My made-up expectation that my future was determined by what I chose when I was 14 was what held me back from enjoying it all. Throughout the next few years of high school, I did get involved. I branched out into new groups, and I took classes that I was actually interested in, not just ones I thought colleges wanted to see. And because of it, it's what made high school important to me. When we're older, we're not going to remember the nights we spent crying and worrying over assignments or how they'll affect our GPAs. We're going to remember the time we spent with those we care about. Many of those are sitting in this room today. I bet that many of you are wondering to yourselves, why does anything I'm saying right now matter? Obviously, the sentiment is great. We shouldn't worry too much about high school and just stay involved and have fun. That's not bad, but we're done. It doesn't matter to us. And the second I step away from this podium, we're all going to throw our caps in the air and go on with the rest of our lives. Well, around the middle of my junior year, I started to get that feeling again. The one from way back when I was 14, walking into the Fargo South High doors for the first time. I was terrified of what comes next. What comes after we walk off this stage today? What does going on with the rest of our lives really entail? When I think about my future, I can't imagine it. I know that the next few years are supposed to be the best of my life, but what if I can't handle it? What if I make the wrong choice and spend the rest of my life regretting it? These thoughts were the exact same, almost verbatim, that I had going into high school. Now, I'm not standing up here just to tell you everything will be okay and there's nothing to worry about post-graduation, because that's not true. The future will be scary, college will be difficult, the workforce will be ever-changing and unpredictable, and there may be no security in what we all choose to do after today. But that will be true whether we go for it or not. I know the future is filled with unknowns, but nothing ever gets done by people who don't try. I don't want to be up here and sound like I'm preaching or anything, but what I've seen for the past few years at Fargo South, it isn't a school, it's a community. A community of some of the most talented, gifted, incredible people I've ever met. And I don't want it to sound like I'm lying or just hyperbolizing the truth. I 100% believe that everyone in this room today, all of you who are about to take one of the biggest steps of your lives, are suited for greatness. And none of that would be possible if we don't try. Our responsibility as people, as students, and as Bruins is to go above and beyond and to strive for excellence. So whatever happens after today, once we change out of these robes and say our goodbyes, is your individual choice. Many of you have already decided what comes next for you, but that doesn't mean the work is over. Every day we choose how we're going to live our lives, and if being a Fargo South student has taught us anything, it's to live our lives with excellence. Excellence does not mean superiority. It doesn't mean entitlement. It doesn't even mean success. Excellence is about being your best self, whatever that means for each of you. If you get anything out of my speech today, I hope it would be this. Our lives are short, our moments are few, so make the most of it and don't live in fear of what the future has to offer. Or in simpler terms, we're here for a good time, not for a long time. So class of 2025, let's have a good time. I have one more thing. I know they told me not to do this, but we have to do this, okay? So all you students, grab your tassels and bring them to the other side. And you know what it's time for. Caps off to the class of 2025.